Today is my last day here in Taipei, and I have an amazing time exploring and eating all the delicious food here. If you're planning to visit and want a great place to stay near one of the city's most famous night market, Rohe Night Market, I highly recommend you stay at Amba Hotel in Songsan. It's in a nice and quiet, convenient neighborhood, close to the train station, Rohe Night Market, a shopping mall right across the street, and there's even a family mart next door. Plus, you get a fantastic view of the city and it's super close to Songsan Airport. With just a few hours left before I head to the airport, I decided to grab one last bite. Something I have been craving for: beef noodle soup. I found this spot right on Rohe Night Market, and it's easy to miss at nighttime with all the distraction and other food stalls, but this place turned out to be a hidden gem, the kind that you don't expect to be this good. Like they say, sometimes the best tasting restaurants are the one that you stumble upon by chance. Now let's check out the beef noodle soup bowl that I got, and look at how many pieces of meat there is on this bowl. It's like packed to the top. You can't even see the noodles on the bottom, and the noodles on here are really delicious. And let's check out the other thing that I ordered. This is the beef soup that I got. It's different than the soup based on the noodle one. It's different, but let's check out the beef noodle that I got and see how it tastes. Alright, let's take a bite of this and see how it tastes. So the moment you take a sip of the broth and the noodles together, you get hit with this deep savory flavor. It's rich, full body, and it's really nice flavor of the beef broth. You can really taste the layers of the spices, and it's slightly sweet, almost caramel-like, with the soy sauce and the beef flavor. Like, it's perfectly balanced with the touch of spiciness and umami. The beef is incredibly tender. It's been braised for hours, so it melts in your mouth when you take a bite of it. It's juicy, flavorful, and soaked up all the essence of the broth, so it's like a sponge that soaked up all the flavor of the beef. And the noodles are thick and chewy, giving you that perfect bite every time. And then there's the pickled mustard greens on top, which adds a nice tangy, salty kick to that flavor, and through that richness of the broth, it's just the perfect contrast and really brings everything together. And overall, it's a really comforting, hearty, and hits the right spot. It's savory, lightly spicy, a little sweet, and incredibly satisfying. And this is kind of the dish that makes you understand why beef noodle soup is such a beloved comfort food here in Taiwan. So let's try this other soup, which is Tang, which is the Taiwanese beef soup, which is so different from the beef noodle soup. And the broth is clear. It's not as dark or thick as the beef noodle soup, and that's because this one isn't stewed with soy sauce or heavy spices. So let's take a sip. Wow, the flavor is clean and pure. It's surprisingly light and incredibly rich, and you can really taste the essence of the beef here. It's like a natural sweetness of the meat that has been captured in the broth. There's a slight ginger kick to it that adds a bit of warmth, but it's not overpowering at all, and it's simple, refreshing, and it's just very different from the bold spiced broth of the beef noodle soup. Between the broth of the beef noodle soup and the beef soup, I prefer the beef soup. It's so much cleaner, so much better in the sense that it's so much tastier. And if you add that noodles to the soup, I bet this would taste a lot better too with the noodles. So in honesty, I can drink this broth all day, and it's like the ultimate comfort food without the heaviness. And I can see why this is a local favorite, especially down in the southern part of Taiwan, which is really famous for. And I have to go there one day to try the authentic beef soup here. But this one is just as good, and I really enjoy both dishes, and hope you guys would come and try both. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and remember to subscribe to my channel for more travel contents, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.